getting ready for another stream. Let me send out some notifications. Hopefully they haven't been annoying recently. Let's see if that... The YouTube link keeps changing, so I gotta keep updating it. Chilling out with some Persona music. We're gonna be doing some work on the game, because I've been doing a lot of visual work on the game recently, but not a lot of programming. I feel like I kind of needed needed the motivation to keep going. So let's see, where is my to-do list even? Let me open this. There we go. Been playing Persona 4, not recently, but I want to get back into it. I'd say about 60% of the way through the game, but really enjoying it so far. So one of the things that we gotta really fix today is the trigger spawner is not setting the not setting the variables properly. So that's the main goal right now. We can see in this level right here, we have this door trigger, but it's all wrong. It's got these properties, but these properties really should just only be one value, but it sets it as an array. It's because in-game we don't actually spawn the door directly, we spawn it as... Go to editor, I go to trigger spawn. This is what handles it. This is just a generic kind of trigger that we can change what type it is. But there is a problem with the way it's setting the variables. Here we go. When we spawn it, we set properties. We set the property with a value equal to properties index p, and then we index 0. So I think the index 0 is either not getting set, or the index 0 is an array. Let's try this for now. It might actually already been fixed. That's the thing. And that, the old object was just created at a point when it wasn't fixed. So I guess the best way to test this is actually if we run it in the game. Let's see. If we spawn another one of these door triggers right here, it comes up as a shape like this that we can resize and remove. But go to, it'll be, it actually gets spawned here, huh? Interesting, because we're doing the spawns on a different layer. I might change that, I might not change that. The spawn is kind of redundant, honestly. Let's add that. I don't like the spawns layer even being a thing, so... just say that this is what we're doing today. If it's not necessary, we're gonna remove it. But so we've got this object, and we can set the variables here. We can set the door index to 1. We can set the level to group. We can save it and exit that mode. That trigger still exists now, but no, I don't want to reload. It will be door 1. It'll be this thing, but that's the spawner. The actual door will be this, and it correctly has the right door index. So I'm gonna say that's fixed, actually. It's possible that I just had an older version of it still around. So let's just clean that up now, I guess. There's so much shit up here. Get rid of this door. We'll just create a new one. I remember I was using this for a testing level for a while. Get rid of this guy and check to make sure that this is... No, this one's not proper either because it's still showing as a dictionary. Actually, that one we just created is also showing up as a dictionary. I don't know how to feel about that either, because that's not right. It's like when it's in the game, it gets done properly, but if we try to reload this, it's going to be as an array. Check this out. Remote, voice testing, and we go to totally blanking today. Triggers, door 1. And yeah, properties. Okay, I think I see the thing. Yeah, that is weird. This door doesn't have any of the properties. Oh, because we're in editor right now. That's right. That's not the actual door. This is the actual door. And it has the right properties to it. So what on earth is going on here? No, I think it is all correct. Because that makes sense. What we're actually seeing in this is the spawn. Oh my god, this song. If you play Persona 4, you've heard this song way too much. Okay, so that's the problem. These are not the actual triggers. These are the spawners for it. Yeah, I was just blanking on that. So if that's not incorrect, then it makes sense why these actually work in the first place. What doesn't make sense is see soon that they spawn us at the incorrect location. So that's all correct. We save that. It spits us out way up there for some reason. And then if we go through here, it either crashes or, this is the unpredictable part, right? Sometimes it won't crash. Sometimes it'll... Okay, so that's completely different behavior. So who knows? Whatever it's doing, it's putting us at the wrong location, clearly. Putting us way down there. Part of code that's responsible for that is actually the world code here. Hop in here. So one thing it's not doing, and this is what probably it should be doing, is it's not finding anything here. And I guess it's not actually resetting our position. That's the actual problem. So if level is equal to old level path and door index equals door index. Okay, this never gets triggered, I'm pretty sure. I can test to make sure. Yeah, no, that never gets triggered. So it doesn't even get past this check. This single line is our problem. You can actually stop it here and actually evaluate what the values are at that specific point in time. Okay, that didn't stop actually. Oh, that's right, because it didn't pass it. Bleh. Okay. Let's see. Can I tell it to stop at this line? If not, I'll tell it to stop on the else statement. Yeah, no, okay. So if I say, tell it to stop here, and it will hit that again. Okay, it hasn't though. Is it possible that it's not even going into the triggers? Oh, that would make way more sense. Let's see if it prints any L's. Doesn't print any L's either. That's... Okay, so... Here we go. It's... This get nodes and group level triggers is just not getting anything. Which it should, theoretically. Let's just make sure I'm using this correctly. Yep, that's the right way to use that. Okay. So that's one thing. The other thing is... there is either no... Wait a second. We're queuing free the level? Hold on. Wait, this doesn't make any sense, right? I'm gonna tell it to stop here, see if it executes that, cause ain't no way breakpoint triggers is no. If I tell it to continue, and here, will it read triggers, or do I have to stop it here? I think I have to stop it the line afterwards. Okay, now it stopped the line ever, and triggers is empty. What's more is... I think the world doesn't exist anymore, or the level, right? Let's see. Yeah, what does the scene tree look like right now? Is it possible to see what that looks like? I'm gonna run it in... Gosh, that's way too useful. I'm gonna embed it, yeah. This song too. What they should do is they should just combine the soundtracks of all the Persona games into a single... I know they did that with like the dancing games, but they gotta do a Sonic Frontiers kind of situation, because Persona games are so fucking long, and I want to hear like more music than like a 2-hour soundtrack. Even though it's 2 hours, it should be enough music for any normal game. I noticed that a lot. Sometimes people, when they're developing games, they don't use the soundtrack to its fullest potential. Like one song repeats way more than other songs, or there's only like 2 battle themes or stuff like that, and after a while you kind of get sick of it. I guess you just take breaks. Speaking of, let's see, can I not display my... No, it's because of that. There we go. Right now, we have door here, and that's all well and good. That's just the trigger spawn. The level exists, but these spawns only exist. The actual actual triggers do not exist at all, which, you know, begs the question, why don't they? Are we queuing them free at some point? Is door killing itself? It's not killing itself. What about triggers? It's not on triggers. What about trigger spawn? That's not killing it either. What about editor? Is exiting the editor or re-entering the editor? Okay, hold on. I was searching it poorly. Still no results here. clearing the HUD, clearing Juniper, clearing the UI layer, clearing guns, clearing options, clearing spawn layers. That's fine. We're clearing the current level, which is like, I guess, yeah, we are clearing the current level. It just begs the question, this is going through the next level. Let's try this one more time. Because we start off on the waste level and it should bring us to the interior level. If we unpause and we pop down here, when we get frozen here, there we go, Dogtown interior. So that's all proper. But we haven't actually spawned any of the physical doors. What's possible here is that the doors aren't spawning when they're being loaded. Take a look, right? Ready. It just doesn't actually trigger spawn. Here we go. When it's ready, we do all of this nonsense, but it doesn't have time to do all of this nonsense, I don't think. So world, yeah. What we need to do is we need to like yield another idle frame. Probably. It's a bit weird, and I could be doing this way more efficiently, but 2 process frames isn't the worst thing. It's like, what? A couple milliseconds? Not even. Because it's 60 FPS, right? And 1 process frame, at least, yeah, it's a process frame, not a physics frame. So it'd be more than that, depending on your computer's hardware speed. But anyways, yeah, we have it loaded now. Okay, so this should work properly now. Don't want to break there. Yeah, we're printing all the stuff we were trying to print before. Still isn't spawning us in the right location though, so it's found it, but it hasn't actually done what we want it to do. For example, it's not printing oobleck, which is the thing we wanted to hit here actually. So we're 1 stat. We are not printing bum either, so it's not saying that the level. Okay, that's why. Old level path is the full level path, whereas the level is just the level name. So to get this, we want to just trim the end of this. There's an easy enough way to do this, but let's just double check this, right? Let's see. Splits using the delimiter. We could do that, or we could just remove everything that we don't want, and that is one way we were doing it here in the inspector. Trim prefix. What we could do we gotta go back to the door to check what that prefix is, but since the prefix is always like constant, it should work out just fine. Let's see, here we go. So we want to trim the prefix that's this prefix. And then we also want to trim the suffix that is .tscn. So pop this over. Where were we working? We were working world, weren't we? Old level name equals the old level path, and then we want to trim the prefix and trim the suffix. So we'll match that, and we'll match the door index, and we'll see if it prints from the no, it's not printing black or the other thing. Double check, wastes testing. What we can do is very simple. We can stop after there. It's triggering multiple times there, which is interesting. Here we go. See what these values are. Or no, we have to go one after. Let's see. T is this object, level is equal to waste testing. Okay, so that's one. Now, old level name is waste testing, so that's proper. Now t.doorIndex is 0, and then the door index is 0. It feels like we really should have gotten that working. The only thing I can think of is if the door index is a float and it's not evaluating the float equal to itself. Is the 0, 0. Old level path. Oh, there we go. Typo. Don't know how to feel about it triggering twice there. I don't know why. Yep. Bam! Alright, let's go. So we might have fixed that part. Don't need this else statement. Still, I'll take a look at this, but let's see if this just works. It works, but it looks like our state doesn't get changed like it should. Let's do that. Gosh, this is one of my favorites. Persona 3 soundtrack is just too good. Okay, what are we doing? None of this reading, writing shit. We are just changing the level. Let's see. Okay, here we go. When we change, we free the current level, and we wait a frame, and are we actually deleting Juniper? I don't even know if we are deleting Juniper. I genuinely think we are never deleting Juniper. I don't know why this is written here. Let's actually, yeah, if that's not necessary, let's give it a shot, see what it looks like without it. Maybe it's... Oh, it's not that we're never deleting him, it's just that he doesn't exist at the start, I think. Yeah, Juniper spawn. Okay, so that makes sense. So if we give this time for Juniper to spawn, then we should wait after he's spawned. Then we can start messing with him, mostly. The reason why I have to do if has no Juniper is that there are some levels that are playerless cutscenes, i.e. Juniper isn't really in the scene. Like, theoretically, I could make levels where he is in the scene all the time and just hide him off screen, but it would, like, hijack the camera, it would do some weird stuff. But I'm gonna check this. And what are we gonna do? Actually, we can just combine this into this. No, actually, this is just for camera smoothing. What I could do is do this instead, though. And then I could do the next one as this. And then I could do... we want to change his state to run, probably. Let's see how to do that. can do it on his movement manager, which can be called from MM. So let's do that. That should work. We change it to run. Let's see if that works. If not, we can make him stand or something. But we really need to run for like a second. Yeah, it looks weird. You can see it for one frame, but... Okay. That works all well and good. The position is not right though, so let's see if we can fix that. It's not a load zone. And his global position will be equal to the door's global position, but what I think is happening here is that the door's global position is like, it's not right. Take a look here. That's actually the spawner for it, right? But the position is up here. We can double check this. If it puts us at the top left corner of the door, we know what's happening. Yep, and it does. So we need to put it at the bottom center of the door, basically. The way to get that on the actual door is interesting. Because there's the collision shape, and then we need to get the bottom point of the collision shape. So we would take the collision shape size and then add its Y and then add half of its X, probably. Let's try that out. This T dot get node collision to like spell like that or that kind of. Too much shit up here. Let's see. Door, collision shape 2D with a capital D. D, and then we want to get its shape, and then we want to get what we want to get. No, we can actually get its size just like that, pretty sure, since they'll always be rectangle shapes. So what's this? Oh wait, it's the Persona 5. So. like a weird cover. I'm gonna divide this by 2. Or multiply it by 0.5, it's easier. Division gets weird for whatever reason. We can do this as a vector too. Let's try this. Should set our position properly based on this. Size and collision shape .2D. Oh, it is shape size. I wonder if I can just do that. Yes! Very nice. What is weird is that we seem to move to very quickly, and we seem to snap to the left side. And what's also weird is that we're not doing the iris out like I want to be doing, and we're doing like a weird flash instead. So let's fix the move to thing first. This is something in Juniper, and I know it's referring to here. It's gonna be the same thing as... It's gonna be the same, like, move to script to state here. It tells it where to move to, but I think it's the door that's telling it to move to position. Yeah, it's a, let's see, active to move to, and instead of the position, which I think is literally just referring to the goal position, we can tell it to move to the door position, which is classic. My favorite Persona 4 song. It sucks the golden intro isn't as good. I got a mod that adds it both, so it plays it randomly which one you get. We'll tell it to move it to this position. Adding it to a vector 2 equal to this. Why I'm doing it closing parentheses. Okay. The speed is really weird. It's so fast. It feels like we should not be moving like that. It zips us way too quickly. What's more is this? No, that's proper. Ooh. Ooh, what the hell? I just changed that, now it works. But it seems to have broken in a different kind of way. Invalid access to property of key texture on base object nil. Where we got this? Set background. It's possible that Dogtown interior testing has a broken background, but let's see. No. That's so strange. Yeah, that's all good. Oh. Oh, and what the hell? That is so strange. Okay, so it's like it's not loading it properly, but it's still able to get everything else out of it proper, which is even stranger. It's not just the camera that's loading improperly. I think that's unrelated. The black bar is not loading. But if I pop this open, it's bigger now. But if I save that, it fixes that, but it can't go back in there. So there's something very strange here. Let's just assume it was broken one time. Oh, wait. Didn't press the right key. Let's delete this, change this to this, save it, and just exit, right? Let's see if it's completely fixed now, because if it is, then it was just like a one-time problem with it. No, it's broken again, which means it's technically fixed. So that is something really weird. We need to load this. We need to see what changes, because something clearly does. Take a look at this. Dogtown interior testing. It's door next 0. It's not locked. It says it's got that as its position, but the collision shape is really big for some reason. Why is it? Okay, so even if it is, if we open it up and then close it again, Dogtown interior testing, it's all the same, but now it does that. What on earth? Oh, and that's fixed. In fact, what the hell? save that, if we make this smaller, and it doesn't work anymore. Why on earth would it work, but not? What the? Is it because of the temp data? It might be trying to load temp data based on a save. Is that what's happening? We're making a save to it? Okay, hold on. This might be actually the problem. Yeah, level data loaded from temp. Oh my god, it's because of the save load system. Let me get rid of this temp. Let's see, on level change. Let's see. But if we take this line out, this is really the only line that might be screwing with us here. Add a bookmark here. Because I think it's trying to load that temporary data and it's not doing it very well. So let's... I don't know why this would be changing anything though. Because that just changes that. So it's not the temp thing at all, actually. What the hell? Maybe it's... If we don't write any data to temporary, why on earth would the background change? Why would it only change, like, afterwards? That is absolutely strange. Like, let's not even change anything, not even save anything, and see if it plays it plays that. Just by the very fact that we open the editor, I think when we open the editor, it reloads. That's what it does. Okay, so there's something different. If we go to the editor, it'll have something that it does when it exits, which is it's going to spawn every single one of the trigger spawns, but if we go to trigger spawns here, let's see. When these are ready, we will do a bunch of nonsense here, and then if we're not in editor, then we'll do our spawn. So what's possible is that something's different here than it is afterwards. That's the only thing I can really think of. This sounds like a remix too. I wonder if it's been changed in the golden version. It's like bassier. Originally it's bassier, or at least the version I'm playing. I don't know what I'm talking about. There's like, it feels like something's different here, but it also feels like okay, what could be happening, because we know one difference is the white, right? And when this door spawns, let's take a look. The door code itself has some stuff on ready, but that'll be readied either way. It will have the transition iris. Here we go. We'll instantiate this, put it on the UI layer, we'll wait for it to be finished, and we will change our player state to run. This is interesting because it seems like we're saying this twice, but yeah, that does feel weird that we're setting it twice. Let's flag this down, and on editor let's also flag where we're setting it again. Let's see. No, not editor, world. See, because we'll take this off and see if we're not already doing that in the door script. Well, we're not crashing from it, that's for sure. So maybe that was unnecessary. But why do we break here? This is like two separate bugs. One, why isn't the 3, if you count the black bars not spawning? But this should just work. It's because the inspect target on this animate thing is not working properly. Because we should animate every frame, and it's saying that our inspect target, so yeah, our inspect target doesn't exist anymore, I'm pretty sure. PC. Inspect target is empty. And that's when we're playing inspect. Now this is interesting, right? We should be in the move to state. We shouldn't be in the inspect state at all. But I think what's happening here, I think this makes sense. The door script is doing something here, right? It is changing our state to inspect. It's then saying to tell us to move to a position, which on this script is a function we can call basically, and the function will change our state to move to and change our move target to position. And let's see, the move to script will do this every frame. But here, if we're within 1 pixel of our move target, then our move dir is set to 0, our state is cleared, and our state is changed to a cache state, which is inspect. So that makes sense, right? The problem is we load the transition, and we wait for the transition to finish, and then we change the level, which is insane. We wait for the animation to finish. I guess that makes sense, right? But if the animation never happens, then how are we even changing the level? Let's see. Let me test this, because this could answer some questions. If this is actually telling us that we're changing it from the door script, yes. Even though the animation doesn't look like it's happening, it actually is happening. Something weird is happening, like it's not being visible or something. This transition iris, which is this scene, and then the animation that we're playing is one of these ones. I don't know why we have this reset animation. Let's see if I can delete this reset animation and see if that fixes anything. It could also matter what position that the iris starts in, but let's see. If we start from here, maybe? No, it's gotta be something with visibility, right? Because it only happens when we do the editor and then we come out of the editor. But the weird thing that happens, or that should be happening here, is that the door should be spawning a fresh one of these iris transitions. Here we go, transition iris. And if it already has it, then free it. Otherwise, add transition. So no matter what, it's doing the transition. It's just not doing it very well. What's more is, I don't think we're ever queuing this transition free. Let's take a look, right? Oh, when it's finished, iris expand, we queue it free, but when the iris contracts, we change it to iris expand. So I think we use the same one for both of them. So what could possibly be happening is that it's getting freed somehow. But let me print over here. We gotta do this a little bit before. Okay. It does do that, but it's not visible. Is it the shader that needs to be loaded, or what? Let's wait for it to be finished and see if we can, because when it's finished it won't delete itself. So we can see what's wrong with it then. Where is it? UI? Okay. Minimum, it could be that it's, oh, size is 0. I also want to change the time. Can I change the time from here? Let's see if we ever change the size of that thing, because it's currently not being changed by let's see, vp.size is the root size divided by our world.resolution scale. There's a lot of math here to get the margin container size proper. But what I could tell it to do is I could tell it to print the size for me. Has it printed the size for me? It seems like it hasn't even printed that. If we continue it, it does print it for me. And it seems like it's got the good size. But why isn't it visible? Hey Ash. Sorry if it's a boring stream and all that. Just using this to keep motivated. Should I look at what changes? The iris is loaded the same way, whether the editor is there or not. The only thing that would change, maybe, is because we get some of this player position from cam center. It could be that the position is off. Let's try printing this too. See if that looks about right. Viewers on stream, bro. That ain't right. I have like Ash, tell me if it blocks that guy. If I do that in restream. So we got, interestingly enough, we got player position from center of like a negative X value, which makes sense. He's like, oh, how are we crouching? I think I'm gonna get rid of that manual crouch thing later, because I really don't like it. I just want to be able to switch this up, like, what would work here? Okay, here's what would work. Is instead of await, I'm just going to await a timer. And then like wait 0.2 seconds. Oh wait. Literalmente possible. Possiblemente. For whatever reason, the viewer count isn't being updated on Restream. I don't even know if you're like supposed to use Restream anymore. Now I think about it. Doesn't like Twitch have some anti-competition policies in there? Something like that. I'm using YouTube. If I had to move, I would move to YouTube just because their VOD upload archiving is just automatic. It's just way easier for me. Nice to keep everything in one place. So this iris is... oh, it's not even in the right position. Oh, the margin container, that's what I'm worried about. Not just the iris itself. Because the iris will be at position 0, the effect will be at position 0, but Even still, I can't see anything. The alpha is set to like nothing there. Any modulate? Nope. I'll get rid of the material. And so now it's just a normal rectangle. Should be. And I still can't see it for whatever reason. Let's just make it ridiculously big. Oh. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, UI layer was not visible. Still, I feel like I should be able to see this. It's visible. It doesn't have any material. The margin container is really huge. The position of this doesn't matter as much. Let's check. Yeah, UI layer is visible. Actually, something else is weird here. We can't see the HUD, which would be on the same UI layer. I wonder if it's possible that it has to do with the UI layer not being visible. Let's try this one more time and see if UI layer defaults to not being on. Yeah. Why is that off? That's so strange. And then when we go to the game here, it's still all good, but we can make it a solid color, and then we can get rid of the shader and we can make the size like super big. I'm just doing the same thing I was doing before, but still not visible. So what am I doing wrong here? Scale. That's all proper. The size of this is actually 0. That might be what's up here. Because it should be expanding to this size right here. But it seems as though it's not. Okay, well, another thing I can do is, for whatever reason, it works when I do that, and we can check it here. I'll put some music back on in a second. Let's see. And we still can't see it here. Is it possible that it's just not far along enough in its animation? Or is it too far along in its animation? On Earth. Okay, so let's get rid of that, and let's instead await for it to be animation finished. Let's not do a froms, let's do something chill. Okay, this is the strangest thing. Why world is loading without UI later start with? There we go. Okay, so we got the animation running this time. Maybe it was just that UI layer was ticked off for some reason. It's actually running a lot slower. Okay, it literally just works. What the hell? You think that's just been off forever? Hold on. And if I F10, if I just go into Dogtown Interior, it's not actually fixed like that. And it's got that same thing with the texture being broken. Interestingly enough. So what is going on here? Invalid access property key in base object of type nil. What's doing is that it can't actually find the background resource. So yeah, background resource is null. Self is this, which is one hell of something. Like, I don't even know what we're like properly loading here. It's a level limiter. But why on earth is this level limiter not setting... It doesn't even have a saved background resource. But when we change the level to the other one, it has a proper saved background resource. What it could be is that this level limiter is saved improperly. So if we go to tiled planes as a background, that resource looks proper to me. Yeah, it matches basically everything here. So what is the problem with it? It seems to be loading like a level limiter, but without without any of the values that are associated with it. Like, it's not loading this level limiter. It's loading a generic level limiter. Like, we have 10 and we go remote, we check out the level limiter, it's still all proper, and we go load itself. That loads properly. If we load the interior level, that also loads properly, but if we check the level limiter, nope, that's all proper as well. But if we go to waste testing and load it, it works as well. Wait, no, hold on, wait a second. Okay, let's try it this way. If I pop here and I load interior testing, now I load waste testing, it'll just work. Okay. I don't know what the bug was then. No, that's trip. Okay. That's the worst feeling when like a bug existed at some point and now you don't have it anymore. Which means it's still out there. It's just an edge case that I can't replicate easily. It'll come up again, but let's redo this temporary level nonsense and see if that breaks anything. Okay, I think it's just working now. What we can do is tell the door not to print so much nonsense. Or what is it? We can tell the iris not to print so much stuff. I'm gonna do a BRB. Blah. some normal posture going. I'm gonna stay out kind of late. Because I got that meeting that's at 9 p.m. today. Actually, it's 7, 8, 9. That's not too much later than now. I think once I get this done, I'll transition to doing... It's water, by the way. I'll transition to doing the list of songs that I need to discuss. Let's see. So... one thing I know I can change right now is the error that it tells me here. And let's see. Actually, I can't really change that. I can, but I would have to have like a special load condition where it's like level change on default or something like that. That move to animation is really fast. I wonder if I can slow that down a bit. It like tweens us over there. Let's see if there's a tweak I can do for this. If animation is run or crouch run, then the speed scale of move to is our weird ass speed calculation, or a maximum of that, or 0.1. That's so strange. But this is the speed scale of our animation. What I need to do is I need to like what the hell values are these that I'm even using? Absolute value of the velocity, x speed. Man, it's a lot. But it will tell us a little bit more here. Okay, that's 0.05. So, oh no, it's 2. It's playing at, oh, we're not moving at all. Why is it playing it that quickly? It's like 3.5 times our normal speed. Oh, and what? But the target thing is a problem again. Oh man. Yeah, let's ignore that for now and try to fix this one problem. So the move to speed is... I don't even know why we're doing this. Like, we're trying to say that if the animation is backrun or something like that, then we change the speed scale of the animation. Let's turn that off for now. so that it's a constant speed. I cannot think of why we would want to speed up the animation if we're running, because we are always running. Let's see. It could be because we're animating the run speed based off of our movement speed. But what's interesting here is the movement speed isn't actually proper. Yeah, all this animation nonsense, like, I will keep this animation code because I think this is just imported from the normal movement code, but what clearly isn't right here is the way that we move. Velocity is calculate velocity. Yeah, let's, then we set velocity. But to get the velocity, we... Oh man, can I read this? We are moving in the move direction, but ignoring that, we are going the minimum out of these two values. One is the absolute value of our x movement plus our acceleration, and then the other is our speed. And I think this is just the generic. I can copy this and compare it with the generic player run script, and I think it's the same thing. Yeah, this looks like the same thing. Yep, okay. So that makes sense, but that's not what's moving us when we do a move to. When we do a move to, we almost seem to be like tweening the position. Let's see, if absolute move target, no, this is what's ending. Move direction is, yeah. What's interesting is that we're not, our move direction isn't actually being signed like our look direction is. Shouldn't our move direction be literally just, let's take a look. I've got the tilde menu that can tell me a lot here. Like right now our move direction is 1 and then that's -1, but let's see what happens when we go through here. Yeah, you see that? Okay, that's the reason it gets spiked to like 5 for just a second. Okay, so we're multiplying something that shouldn't even be. It should always be a 1 or a -1 or a 0, or something in between that. But it certainly should not be like 5. That's the problem here. Why I think we're not signing this is because we want values that are in between. But what we should do is then make it a unit, like we should make it less than 1. Let's see. Let's just try signing it for now. Because I don't think that will be like a huge issue. Oh. Heyo! Okay, so I think that's pretty much fixed. The only thing that's weirding me out here is why this keeps trying to be big. If I reload this, come on. These, it's big again. Why on earth? Oh, it must be something where I did a typo with an X and Y value, because it's keeping like one. It's like not keeping the width, but it's only keeping the height, and it's setting the width and height to the height. That would be my best guess here. No, that gets saved. But this... doesn't get saved. It's like it doesn't want it to be too small for some reason. That is kind of crazy. What happens if we change the size of it here? Let's see. Okay, that saves. If I make it bigger or smaller, move it over here. Seems to have worked fine. I don't know why. I'll create a new door and see if that messes up. Otherwise, I'll consider that like a bug that's been fixed. Process for creating new doors is pretty easy. What's more is I can copy this and I can like add it to the what do we call that level? Dogtown interior testing. If I save that, no. There we go. I should be able to enter this just fine. Yeah. But if I do this, it'll break because it'll say that you have two doors leading to the same place and I can't tell which one you want me to use. So that's all well and good. I might even hazard to say that this door stuff is kind of done. We got it working the way we want it to. So I have two options here. One thing I could do is I could move on and work on the level transitions, which is they're like doors, they're load zones, but they just kind of happen at the end of a level. And that would take me, I don't know how long that would take me realistically. It'd be worth a shot trying out. It's very similar code. The other thing I could do is I could start working on the list of levels that need music, because I've got a meeting. I'm gonna end the stream at like 9:30 my time, because I do have a meeting with somebody who is proposing to work on music, or I'm approaching them to get music for the game. So we can move on to fun stuff, but I'm feeling focused. Yeah, let's do some more programming while we're here. So load zones might be broken right now, but let me just get them up to snuff with how doors are right now. So trigger, load zone, we've got similar stuff going on here. We have, what I essentially want to do is I want to like get a lot of the code from over here. Trigger type load zone. Check the, yeah, load zones triggers, level triggers. That's perfect. I want to just kind of copy what I've got here. Enter load zone is triggered when body is entered, which makes sense. Do we even need to trigger which body is active? I don't know. Let's see. We do the whole move to nonsense here, but here we actually just disable, and then we do move to, but instead we can just set can input to false instead of disabling them, because disabling them like disables their physics and other stuff. It has moved to, but the animation that the move to is going to go back to is run, so it might be something different. Okay, we might need the inspect state, but if not, then we don't need it. Transition is our transition wipe, and then we change the animation based on direction. And let's see, if UI layer has no transition wipe, and let's see, if we're already doing a wipe, then free the previous wipe. Yep, that's what we're doing here. Can get rid of this here actually. Then we're waiting for it to be finished, and instead of doing all of this nonsense, we're really just emitting the signal that says change the level. But let's fix a little bit of that. We're changing the state back to run here, but it will already be set to run. What I do want is to set can input back to true. The level path will be our parsing the string here, and then we'll wait for the transition to be finished first, like that. Fade music also is something that we're not doing here. Gosh, I should work on the music part, but maybe once we get our music guy on board. let's try placing one of these things. So I want to create some tiles here, and then what I think I can do is I'll do the load zone here and just make it the whole screen tall, basically. Come on. Nope. Okay, that might be an issue because it overlaps with that there. It just made me want to grab onto this instead, but we got it now. Cover the whole thing. It would be convenient if it did it manually, but I like being able to edit it manually. So the direction is interesting here because what is the direction? Is it the direction we walk it into, or what? I think this would be right, this would be to the left. Like, this would be correct, it's to the left, but, get rid of this thing. So now, if I go and load this default Godot 4 level, no. Wait, what is this nonsense? The texture. It's the texture thing again. I don't know why, this weird bug about textures. It could be that the default level is broken. Nope. Okay. Well, let's add a load zone here. Whoa, there's two load zones. Okay. Weird. I'll see if I can fix that. But. And this one will be to the right, so -1. And now, if we go here, okay, can input of type bool in base object nil, active PC. Oh, okay. What's happening is that we're setting active PC to null here, and we really shouldn't be. Let's see. Yes. Oh, no. No level with name blank. Oh, that's right, I never set a level for it. Level will be default Godot 4, I believe. Sounds about right. Yes. Now if we load that, that stupid weird texture bug, I'll have to fix that. But if we don't like do that, we can just load this just fine. And I can set this to waste testing. It would be nicer as an enum, but okay, besides the fact that it threw me in a hole. It still crashed because of the texture glitch, but interesting. And then the can input gets weird here because it says it doesn't know what the active PC is on a door. No. Yeah, oh, it's this. I must have done it on the wrong one. Yeah, I did on the wrong one. Ooh, whoa. Interesting. Oh. That's not supposed to happen. What the? Okay, there we are. It's like where I'm stuck moving that direction and my hands are off the keyboard. Okay, just don't fly into load zones, I will say. Maybe just check to make sure that I'm not flying into a load zone. Seems to cause weird things. In fact, it causes weird things anyways. Like it... Oh, the can input. Can input never gets set back. That's the reason. Here we go. Yeah, can input gets set to true after the animation's finished. That's only after the transition is finished. Maybe the transition, well, if the transition never finished, then we would never change levels at all. Well, let's see. Maybe can input is being set properly, like that. It just gets changed weirdly if we happen to be holding. Like that, what the hell? Oh, maybe we're being set into a move to state as well. Oh, we're being set into a move to state, and it just continues. We're never actually being set back to a walk state. Like, we're never interrupting it. And the animation just finishes before we've even done the move to thing. Which it should interrupt us. Just like the door, like we never get, or we don't have to get all the way before the the transition finishes, like we can just imply that we walked all the way to the door. Which is why we're changing the state to run here in the door, which we can do here too. Easy as pie. What might happen though is, well, no, it won't finish the move to code. Let's try it. So it seems to work. Let's see what happens when we like don't have any floor beneath it. Because that'll be kind of weird. Because this should be right here. It should be off the edge there. If I pop in here, it'll make me fall. It's like just a little bit of a difference. It's weird. It's like I gotta add like an extra block of movement there. And we still got the texture glitch, but what I could do right now is set the load zone to put me at the right position. This is an interesting one because like theoretically this is gonna be weird. I want to be at the same height when I go to the next level. Let's see, so I got waist testing, and if I got default Godot 4, which is the other level, when I jump here, I want to come out here, which is weird, right? Because we can't just put these levels side by side, right? That doesn't work. We have to assume there is some point here that is equivalent to a point here. We have to kind of set a height, basically. Which I don't know if I like doing. What would be easier is to set the lowest point as the ground height, and then it just puts us at ground height. It would change some stuff though. For example, on this level, our big load zone would have to go up here, and that's a tricky situation, right? Because while nobody could make a jump underneath here, if they somehow could, they could break outside of the game's like limits, basically. Well, actually, no, that's about right, because they would fall off the stage, and then we have like a death trigger or something like that, if they fall enough. They're just in the void, basically, and if they reach a certain like X or Y height, then they're dead. In a weird edge situation, maybe we just have different load zones. Honestly, if we need to like do different load zones, we just have different load zones. Let's see if the code already works just as is. That being, like, if we walk into this load zone, we should walk out of it. Nope, we fall out of it. For whatever reason, the load zone script is not setting us at the proper height. It used to at one point in time, but let's check to see what it's doing. We don't need this, like, all this handle nonsense. This is not relevant anymore. Okay, okay. We're moving to that, right? That's fine. But what isn't fine is on world, if we trigger the load zone, we are set to a weird ass position, specifically the position of the load zone plus the direction times 32. What the hell? This is like weird and old. Right now, this collision shape, oh, that's certainly weird. Let me move that back up. Double check to make sure that's still good. Yeah, for here example, this load zone's position is up here, but we want to get, what position do we want to get here? Just the X position. The Y position is already right. No, the opposite. The Y position. And how we would get that is, well, not this spawn, but when on the actual load zone, we would get the collision shape size.y. Sounds easy enough. We can get this here, and then we can say, instead of all this weird gay shit, we can say vector 2 0 comma size.y. I don't know what this weird multiplication thing is kind of strange because it implies that we're multiplying the direction in both ways. Let's just try that for now. Oh, that's weird. Okay, maybe we're already at the right X height or something. Let's see. If we just spawn ourselves at the global position, it should spawn us at like the top of that thing. Which isn't right, but it's something that we can like test to reference. Okay, so it has done that. What the 32, and now I remember this, the 32 is actually in the X position so that we don't just keep triggering it. It spawns us a little bit in front of it. Yeah, this is making sense now. So what I could do is do that for the X position, and then do 0 for the Y. Actually, I'll do size Y for the Y, because I'm pretty sure that's right. Oh, and that's not right, because it's direction.x. Nice. It does shoot me off the ledge a little bit there. If we jump, it'll put us down there. Oh, and that's no good. It's locked me up. Why on earth? If I'm in a jumping state, does it do that? Or is it if I hold? That's interesting, look at that. If I hold, it'll actually keep me moving before the transition is done. So I can kind of weirdly teleport. Oh man, that's an issue actually. Let's do this for doors. So it is still kind of messy here. I did say I was gonna maybe like switch at like 8:30 or something. Let's try to find some more bugs that we can work on next time. Like that. What in earth is that? Oh, I know what it is. I think it's because we're doing a long jump, technically. Let me change this so that we can actually see. Didn't we have a state label? There we go. I think it is. If we do a long jump into it, it will force us to hold that long jump direction. Like a jump is fine, yeah. But if we do a long jump, nope, that's fine too. What on earth isn't fine though? If we do a long jump and hold into it. Oh. I have no idea. But that is weird that transition, like, we get set to that position long before the transition is done, so we can kind of do that. I don't know what would be a good idea to hold on until a little bit after that position, that transition, or it's a long transition too. I could speed up the transition just a bit. What do you guys think? For now, let's just freeze him until the transition is a little bit more done. Oh, it's on the load zone script now, isn't it? Here we go. So we let him input here. This load zone is already like freed, isn't it? Yeah, wait a second. Oh, this is so strange actually, because this specific load zone is tied to the last level, which... What were we doing? Aren't we queuing it free? No, we're not queuing it free here. We're queuing it free later, but still, what's more is that I think we actually can do this on start too. Like if I hold left. Nope. No, it doesn't actually start inputting until then. But what about on doors? Let's check if this is on doors too. Oh, it's here, that's why. That's different actually. That inspect target. It's such a weird thing. It only seems to happen sometimes. Maybe it's because the first couple of frames we actually see ourselves. No idea. No idea why it freezes too on that. Really just gotta go one by one here. If we just keep doing this... That's also a thing, we should not be able to do this so quickly like this. Okay, and that's so strange. It's probably because we're exiting and re-entering it. So like a cooldown being able to enter doors and stuff would be nice, but secondly, if I go like that, I exit, I re-enter, exit, re-enter, is it, I wonder what conditions that it will freeze. That was the condition. But what the hell was that? Let's see what the real error is here. Our PC's inspect target is basically just null. So we can check our player and our inspect target is empty. But this is because we are animating the inspect animation. And we shouldn't be animating the inspect animation. We shouldn't be doing that after we've changed the level. So yeah, our inspect target would be null if we change the level, but take a look here, right? So this is on level change. well, to start with, right? We're going from door, so we play door sound effect, we fade the music, we load our transition, we wait for it to finish, we change our state to run, and then we change can input true. So what might be useful here is like another idle frame maybe, so that our animation, our state can be properly changed first, and then we can let's try that. Let's see if that fixes anything. If it doesn't happen again, then I'm gonna call that fixed. I think that is fixed. Nope. It's because we inspect again, that's the problem. Take a look. We can literally enter the door twice. If I inspect... Or if I move to... No, yeah, I press down again, that's the problem. So I shouldn't be able to... Nope, I can't get it to happen again. I don't know. I don't think that's actually it. Let's try only pressing it once and see if it ever happens. Oh my god, what if our crouch thing is messing with it as well? I was only pressing it once. Now, the crouch thing is weird, and this could be part of the problem, because our crouch thing is... God, it's awful. I really shouldn't be able to do it manually, but I was convinced to by a friend, and I haven't taken it out yet. But when we crouch, we have... Yeah, we have this collision shape, and then we have the crouching collision shape, and I believe they're on the same layers, but the whole thing of the down buttons are also our crouch button. So what if I changed the inspect button to be something completely different instead of down? I'll make it V for right now. ZXUV. And if if that fixes itself, then it's a problem with the crouch. Which I really hope it is, because that gives me an excuse to tear out all the crouching, not all the crouching code, but the manual crouching code. Please be this. I think it might be this. Oh. No, it wasn't. Okay. So if it's not the crouching, if it's not the double pressing, why on earth are we inspecting afterwards, right? So this move to code, right? Is it possible that we're setting the transition finishes and we set it to, like, there's no way that this code is still running. Let me keep printing this. I hate this stupid debugger window always opening. So let's see. Move to state clear, change level, later. Let's see, playing out animation. Let's see, huh? I don't think that we even got that far. It is when we're on the edge there. And we are clearing the move to state. But let's see, let's add a print to this and see what happens first. Because that might be our thing, right? It might be that we're setting our state to run, and then it's setting to inspect again, and then it's clearing the level, and then the inspect has no target. That could be very well what's happening here. So let's see where we are. No, we're doing that in the door code, actually. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Move to state clear, and then print setting state to run. So if we set state to run and then it says move to state clear, that means that it's out of order and it's not working as it is intended to. So let's try to trigger that. The problem is that the printouts all look exactly the same, so I can't tell if it's the new printout. Put my mouse over there, just to... So, in this new one, we are... We're not even setting the state to run, actually. Wait a second. Move to state clear, setting state to run afterwards. But the fact that it is clearing the move to state is what seems to be crashing it. That one didn't clear the move to state. That one didn't clear the move to state. The fact that we went back to inspect is the thing that's crashing it. So even though we're changing it to run right after, the problem is that we're setting it to inspect. What might work is if inspect is able to run without a target. That would be way easier. Lookter is here, but what could we get Lookter off of if not the inspect target? Don't we have like a faster or something like that in Juniper Juniper's movement manager has a move target states, minimum direction time coding, all of this stuff, and it doesn't have... Oh, it does have a Lookter. Wait a second. Can't we just set it based off of Juniper's Lookter? In fact, why does it have its own, like, Lookter on Earth? Yeah, what the hell? That feels like something that we shouldn't be doing here. Are we not setting Lookter? PC.Lookter. What on earth? Oh, inspect, that's the problem. Yeah, inspect has its own Lookter, which, like, literally, what on earth? Get V-frame. We're even checking the PC Lookter. We're not even... What is this? Get V-frame. What? We're setting this twice. What? Look at this. Get V-frame is... What? It's doing the same thing. What the hell? What is this even doing then? It's like it's not doing anything. What the? Does that really do nothing? I somehow don't believe that. It should work on like NPCs, like because NPCs, they'll have the inspect thing on them. Like hold on. Stop moving. Oh wait, yeah, it's not the down button anymore. Yeah, so that already oh, that's because the dialogue faces to that. But what else can we inspect, right? Doors? But doors will just use the move to code, so I don't even know if we ever get to use that look. Yeah, what the hell? I guess I'll leave that off. Yeah, what the hell? And then this code should go above the get VFrame anyways, because it'll change the look yeah, weird stuff. Oh yeah, that's right. Let me re-enable that project. I do like down to inspect. It gives it something to do. I think that was in Kirby it was up for whatever reason. Maybe it's because you already had a jump button. Or maybe it wasn't up. Maybe it was down too. Well, it certainly works. I don't like being able to trigger it twice. Like, it gets weird. It's not game breaking though, so... Actually, it is kind of game breaking. It starts doing weird stuff. Like there, like it moved to the side. Look at that. Yeah, that moved to literally changed position because I... Yeah, no, that's no good. What I need to do is afterwards, I need to like have an inspect cooldown. Let's see. I'm gonna take a break for a sec, but I'll be back. Getting near the end of the stream and all that. Tomorrow's Friday, so it'll be a me day. It'll be nice. I don't know what I got going on. Guess I'll probably go home or something. Got nothing to do, live pretty far away from town, so I don't know. That's the Midwest life, that's the Laputa life. There's nothing to do. That's why I gotta add bars to Laputa, because living in rural Midwest, it certainly isn't rural, but it's like halfway there. There's nothing to do but drink. I'm not a very social person. I like being social, but I'm not just gonna go into a bar by myself. Okay, that gets funky real quick. Let's ignore load zones for now. I might actually save that there with what we've got. We have fixed the invalid inspect target bug. We need to add a cooldown to constantly entering doors. That whole direction bug, I don't know what's going on, personally. And then that invalid texture bug might still be a thing, I don't know. Remove spawns layer from levels if not necessary. Yeah, we'll get to that. Okay, this works for now. That's not actually happening. So we'll put that aside for now. And we'll actually put this aside for now. What I want to make is, I want to make a Google Doc. Yeah, I got a new, my 3-split background is all messed up because I got a new graphics card and it's got 2 HDMI slots. I'm expecting like three, what do you call them? Not DVI, but whatever the good stuff is. Oh, that's bright. Maybe I can make this dark mode or something. Ain't no way. How do writers do it? Because, certainly people, like, writers use Google Docs and stuff, and I wouldn't imagine, like, having to look at a terribly bright screen all day. Alright, there we go. So this will be like both a songs list and a levels list kind of thing. What we've got is this first section of the game consists of a couple of levels. Let's see. Just want to make sure that this is all right. So this is the mega document that we got working on. And this is like the whole story. We're working on yay big slice of it, just a bit. For the demo, it's going to end basically after we get back to Dogtown and a little section here. what I do want to create, and this would be actually very useful, so let's put it off to the side here, is a kind of mini circle that is just the stuff happening in the demo. And we can like be more specific with everything going on there. Because this is getting very cluttered very quickly. Maybe it would be better as a timeline? I don't know. As a one-dimensional kind of thing. So we've got some of the same like levels going on here. And I would just copy all this actually. Because I've got some changes to make specifically to this first section. We're still doing stuff the same, but let's make them in these little title cards. And then above can go the levels that go with these plot points, story beats, something like that. And I'll And then instead of these, we can create blocks. That'll be good. These will be the blocks that the levels kind of take place on. So the first level will be the train level. Bold that to our heart's content. And then like everything that's on the same like stage will be the same color maybe. Well, I can maybe... Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. And then this is like the overarching theme. Using some of the same colors that I've got for the other stuff. Okay, so we're doing an exploration section. We have the boss. We have, I guess what I could do is cutscenes too. Maybe just cutscene like that, and then I've been doing them in white. I could do these in more solid colors. It's a bit too solid. Okay. And then I can put the songs list on this as well, but the songs will basically kind of go to the level areas here. Jeez, that scares me. It's 9 p.m. Yeah, like 30 more minutes. Alright, we'll try to fix this, finish this real quick, not be too picky about it. Okay, actually we're doing our platforming section just as approximates here. Cutscenes, are we doing cutscenes there? Not really. I hate, what is this nonsense alignment stuff here? My faux CD is going out of control. There we go. Cloud Factory. Now here's the interesting thing is that there's interior and exterior stuff here. Actually exterior. Aren't you just snapping? Okay. So, yeah, I guess we would do platforming here. Jesus. It's because it's trying to snap to everything else in this document. I got too many control points, or snap, like lineup points. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so this is more like an exploration kind of thing. Style it like that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, then we got another boss chunk here. And what I'm gonna do is, I had notes on this earlier, I'm gonna pull them up to check the intersplicing of that stuff. Okay. Actually, we'll start with cutscene. And then we wake up, go through the train level. We have, make these smaller. We have a pre and post boss cutscene. Basically, just a small one. This cutscene that opens our game. Let's see. We have a small cutscene where we're, oh shoot, actually. This changes, I didn't realize, but this whole section, this is why this game is like so big. It's not just Dogtown exploration, but it's a, let's see. It's not its own like tile set, it's just a one random interior tile set. And we're just doing like, it's not even that much of an exploration section. It would be and then we would have it's not that, but we have the underground jail section. Let's see. What is it? Ruins, mines? I'm calling this something. Temple. I'm calling it temple currently? That's terrible. What am I calling it over here? Dungeon. Yeah, I'll call it dungeon. Because it kind of is like one. Okay. So then the rest of the time we're doing this stuff. doing more platforming on the inside than we are on the outside. And then we've got boss that takes place back on the exterior. And man, this gets long. Okay. We actually somewhere like around here, I want like a cutaway cutscene. Stupid grid keeps changing on me. Just snap the grid. On the inside of the Zypher, we get just a very brief cutscene. Actually, it's gonna be like that. And then, okay, so we have that cutaway cutscene, and then we go through the caves, and then no. It's over here. We get a really brief cutscene on the roof, and then we get another cutscene afterwards after we defeat the boss. And then there's another one here. But first we have to I don't know if we go back in or what, but there's like just a really small amount of platforming to get back. And then we go back to the caves, and as that happens, we see another cutscene, and then let's see. By the time that we're back to wastes, it's gonna be wastes at not. A lot of like different level changes, but I'm hoping like the time like is significant enough to be its own kind of element here. So we're gonna have platforming, and then it's like, this is gonna sound terrible, but it's like a stealth section. We're gonna see if that works. If it doesn't work, it's just gonna be a platforming shooting section, but there's a story opportunity for us to do a stealth thing here. So in our little marbled pie of mostly platforming here. So we defeat the boss, we defeat... This is more of a explanation, actually. Because we've already defeated everything here. Okay, so... we've got this whole Waste Twilight level. What happens next? According to what I wrote up, we go through the caves. It's no nautical twilight. We reach Dogtown at night. Yeah, and it's gonna be just this, very kind of briefly. And then like a longer cutscene to end the demo, basically. So that's the whole demo right there. 2 bosses, bunch of cutscenes and stuff. A lot to set stuff up. What I can do is I can explain some of these cutscenes, but cutting it close on time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep streaming until my friend is ready to meet. We agreed 9:30. But if he doesn't end up doing it, I'll stream just a little bit longer, finish this out. I think that's the best thing to do. Gives me more time to finish this out and maybe think about music here. Though I really don't have any good ideas for music right now. Yeah, let's just focus on this right now. And then this is actually interesting because this will be Dogtown at night. No, what the hell? Just hold it, Control B, thank you. Okay, so I want to make these just kind of really brief and descriptive. Okay, sweet. Looks like my friend is ready to talk, so I will end the stream in 12 minutes or so. This ain't when the heist starts. The heist starts here. What I'm gonna do is actually just make these small kind of bullet point boxes. I wish it was centered though. What the hell? What's the next thing that happens? No, don't do that. These fucking boxes, man. I'm not gonna use these. I'm just gonna use this. So Dola confronts us here. She asks us to hand over the MacGuffin and that we've basically stolen on this train heist. And if we don't give it to her, then we have to do a boss fight. So the whole thing was kind of a setup with us as the fall guy. And we fight her and the pirates. As the boss fight. And in the cutscene after, Dola detaches the train and we are left to be caught by detaches the train and we are left to be caught by the guard. In Dogtown, what is this? Come on. We are sent to jail, but are not properly guarded. Via tunnel, basically. And that's actually really brief. But we quickly move on from that to we meet sprung in the walls of the ancient tunnels. But we meet Basil and Sage. Basil, they offer to help us, but Basil asks us to fix radio and I guess antenna would be the right word. And that's our main quest. That's why we go to the Cloud Factory in the first place. At Cloud Factory. In this cutscene, so in this cutscene, they're talking about how they have to land and basically go to Dogtown because the MacGuffin was stolen and the person who did it is locked up. Or at least that's what he's been told, basically. Little you know that the guards already lost track of him because they're way underfunded. Like nobody, it's just the local sheriff. Actually, it's just like one guy who got Juniper. So I want to interspice that, and then the exit. Let's see. So get this out of here. We go to the Cloud Factory. We find the grenade launcher weapon here, basically at the end. And then in this first cutscene, we are attacked by treasure hunter who thinks we have MCG, but we don't. It was already stolen by pirates. But we fight them anyways. And then treasure hunter leave, and we restore antenna. Basil radios in and tells us that oil are on their way from the train. So this is a weird kind of situation. It makes sense in context, but basically what's happening here is that Davy and his crew are landing, right? And they're landing here in this cutscene. On the... So they arrive just as we leave, basically. We don't even know. But what Basil does see is all this weird movement out here, and he's like, oh yeah, a bunch of royal guards just arrived on the train. Royal guards are different. They are like basically what upholds the monarchy without a king, basically. So they're the only law and order around Laputa, which isn't much, and they tend to stick around the capital. But they're coming to greet the new King Davy and his corporation, which is like private military, basically, people. And so they're trying to do this, and they're also trying to, before he arrives, capture us, because they know they fucked up Major, and they let us get away. And they also don't have the MacGuffin to show for it, so it's this big kind of like confusing situation that we get caught like right in the middle of, and we've got to kind of escape from it, because we were just trying to set up this antenna. And everyone's kind of coming at us, the treasure hunters, the Royal Guard, and Davy's corporation. So this section, the Plouth and Framing Style section, is where we have to get through Royal Guards, either by fighting or by, just escaping from them. And then at the end, we go back to Dogtown, and Basil and Sage let us stay the night, but warning, corp soldier are at our door. So this is like the lead into the next section, which is basically why not only we have to leave, but Basil and Sage have to leave for, you know, what do you call it, aiding and abetting or something like that. For keeping us at their place. So all of us have to fucking like get the heck out of Dodge here, and that's when the next section of the story starts. So all in all, it's a lot, but at the same time, the story is very kind of thinly like sprinkled through here. The most uncertain stuff is over here. This section is going to be reshuffled around quite a lot, but the basic levels and the gameplay aspects are going to be the same. So we're still going to have a train platforming boss section. We're still going to have that the jail into the dungeon, into the exploration, into the fighting section, the normal platformer shooter, into the caves, which is an extended part of that level with a different tile set, into the Cloud Factory, which we don't really fight in, but we go inside the Cloud Factory. It's like a mini dungeon, basically going up floors and just fighting on an interior level for once. It's like it's abandoned factory, so we can kind of see the inside from we can see the outside from the inside, kind of cool. I've got some ideas for it. This is the level I'm talking about here, at least what I've got so far. And we escape via the caves, and we basically do the levels backwards here, but the difference is that when we come back out of the caves are like a transition level, right? They help me like go from afternoon to sunset, basically. It's actually a little bit past normal Earth sunset because Laputa is so high up, we were talking about this, that you could see the sun going up from the underside in a really cool effect. It's going to look neat. And then the caves provide us another transition here so that it's twilight here. And then by the time we get to Dogtown, it's going to be night fully, and we are going to have an excuse to use that really nice night tile set that was like one of the very first concepts I made. This one, there we go. It's going to look very pretty. Yeah, this is like really, really early tiles. Before Dogtown had this as its tile set. This is more of like the daytime. But combining the two together and put in that little bit of extra effort to make the lighting realistic on the background and the tile set itself. And all this other stuff can happen some other time, because for the next year I'm mostly going to be focusing on this section of the game. There's certainly enough to work on. But we're missing just about this much of the game, so thought it was going to be a short game. It certainly doesn't sound like it. Now, just looking at all this stuff, it doesn't sound like it. Yeah, like 2 bosses per section, so just about. Yeah. But hopefully this will be enough to tide people over and get some funding for the game. Anyways, enough rambling. I gotta get to my meeting. I'm already late, but hope y'all have a good night, and I'll see you some other time. Gonna do stream